Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of VCTV. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. Today, we're going to be talking about tokenizing your startup, what that means, what that looks like on both sides as founders and a big thank you to the Token team, to Maria and Hasmik for making today's episode possible. If you haven't done so already, please do go to letoken.com to check out today's speakers and all speakers of the VCTV family to learn more as well. And with that, Vandana, welcome to the show today. A little intro and a little background for everybody, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. First of all, thank you, Kyle, for having me here. Thank you to Maria and Hasmik for arranging these wonderful VCTV shows. It takes a great effort to connect people globally on these platforms. I would like to introduce myself. I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years in investment banking. I had my own family office fund there, and this is my 7th year back in India. I did investments, then I went back to advisory. Currently, I'm connected with 300 investors globally. I pick up global deals. I'm also a venture advisor with Loyal VC, the INSEAD-led Canadian VC fund, having a core portfolio of over 160 investments in more than 35 countries. I'm a partner with GST Venture Studios, a Silicon Valley-based venture builder. And over the years, I've arranged funding for startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors like EdTech, FinTech, consumer B2C, B2B, agri-tech, health tech, food tech, disruptive and deep tech, as well as non-tech sectors. I would recommend all of you to have a look at my website and see the wonderful testimonials written by my clients. And my expert opinion is sought by leading business news channels like VCTV and Business World. They can be viewed on VCTV streaming sites and also on YouTube. I've given 160 plus talks all over the world. I've been selected as the top 10 women leaders in wealth management this month, 2021. And also my brand is one of the top 10 brands in women leaders. Thank you once again for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you as well. Adrian, welcome to the show. A little intro, a little background, please.
Hello, Kyle. Hello, VCTV family. Happy to be here again. I'm Adrian Niculescu, serial entrepreneur and investor. I'm involved in few projects, Cloudcoin Consortium. Cloudcoin is a post-blockchain digital currency, DAO1, a decentralized autonomous organization. Also, I'm involved in venture capital since 2014, initially with Faster Capital, and recently as a venture partner for the Singapore-based fund and ventures. Also, I'm involved in mentoring as part of the Virgin Startups program in UK, and the bootstrapping my own education project in the blockchain space, coincruncher.com. Happy to be here today and contribute. It's actually a very good topic and an actual one about the tokenization of the startups, because it gets new ways, creative ways to raise funds quicker and cheaper than ever before.
So Adrian, with that being said, why don't you kick us off? I mean, tell us what this all means to the idea of tokenizing one startup. You mentioned fundraising, but there's also the utility side of this as well. Non-fungible tokens or NFTs plays a role, but talk to us and set the stage of what it means to tokenize one startup.
First, when I hear the term to tokenize, somehow I'm looking at the crowdsourcing idea, because today, if you have an idea and if you throw it out on social media, it's much easier than before to get backers, to get people to look at what you are doing there. So initially, the idea of tokenizing was somehow as crowdfunding with the blockchain twist. So you raise money, but also you attach a token to the raise, which allows a faster liquidity, and with the liquidity, a potential to have a return on investment faster than in the usual venture capital world, and of course also with a return on investment. So return on investment and liquidity faster than the venture capital world. Because you mentioned utility, and one very special breed of tokenized startups we are seeing today growing like crazy in the crypto gaming sphere. So you can issue tokens which can be used in platforms, in games. So they give utility in the process, and also helping with the fundraising. But what is the most important aspect of tokenization is a way to engage bigger than ever before the community of users, the community of backers, to become part of the creation and the development of the startup, which doesn't have a price tag on it because it's actually priceless and very, very important. And you get a lot of validation on the way, while this crowd of people are giving you feedback on a daily basis about your project, which is totally, totally cool.
That's very cool, and it provides that community engagement, as you said, an ongoing activity. And as investors, now that we'll switch gears from the founding to the investors, as investors looking at a tokenized startup, I mean, what opportunity is that? Something that you lean into, or is that something you're kind of backing away from? I mean, this has an enormous impact on the venture community. So, Adrian, and let's talk about that. And Vandana, I want to get your opinion as well. I mean, what's the impact for investors when founders begin to tokenize their startups and maybe raise through those means of funding versus traditional or previously seen, equity and convertible notes and those types of things?
When there is a project at the beginning, many investors are looking at some things in particular. What the community is saying. They go to Discord, they go to Telegram, and if a project is an early stage, but the community is raving like crazy, it's a positive sign for them. Of course, you can have, especially in Telegram, a lot of bots, a lot of non-natural moves. But apart from that, you can analyze a project with a quote-unquote potential of booming when you look at the community from the early stage, if people are going crazy with the idea. So I don't advise to stay away from it, because we can see, for example, platforms like eToro, the trading one, which has grown like crazy based on this huge community of people actually backing the project, communicating about it, giving positive or negative feedback. And these are very important elements about traction in the market, which are positive or negative signs for investors.
Wonderful. And Vandana, your thoughts on the impact of tokenization around startups?
Yeah, sure. So, what I believe is tokenization, by most popular definition, is a form of transforming the value of a business into digital resources. And it evokes more and more interest among entrepreneurs. Now, tokenization may be particularly important for entities that are considering alternative paths to VCs or business angel to obtain financing for the development of their companies. The post-pandemic crisis and the new reality faced by business founders may encourage them to, delve deeper into the subject, especially in the context of scarce funds of traditional investors. Now, the company's tokenization often provides an easier and quicker opportunity to raise funds for their investments. Now, one can tokenize their business through, preliminary analysis and choice and the type of issue, and identify the token economy, and also by marketing campaigns. And usually after the issue of your tokens is completed, the monitoring by the team providing technological solutions will end. So, I feel that this should not happen to anybody, because take care of the further development and long term development of your products, as well as contact with the community to continue and expand the business and capabilities and resources. Now, what are the challenges of tokenizations for investors? Experts from Cambridge Center Alternative Finance found that lack of knowledge and clear understanding of security tokens blockchain is what distracts people and companies from entering this field. And now there's a variety of terms used, often interchangeably and without a clear definition. Even the term crypto asset lacks a specific definition. And like explaining the basics of cryptocurrency and tokenization should be a platform's priority. P2P exchange services and decentralized exchange services remain, like a shady niche where backers can experience considerable risk and losses. Also, only some governments have developed a solid base of laws and rules for, tokenization activities. Amongst the best countries to launch security token offerings are Lithuania, Malta, Canada, the US, and Switzerland. Now, despite reducing administrative costs, the launch of security token offerings is often associated with bureaucracy, which by default entails legal charges for other services. Hiring external professionals is essential, as they guarantee the smooth launch of the project. And in this case, asset token offerings are more suitable for businesses at later stages of development. And there's another drawback. When the third party doesn't take part in the launch of the STO, its responsibilities are transferred to the buyer and seller. The company prepares marketing material, attracts investors, complies with regulatory requirements, and then closes the deal. Without professional help, it may be like a pain in the neck. So I feel these are some of the things we need to keep into consideration.
Absolutely. And also regulation, right? When we look at things on a global scale, the world of tokenization and decentralization is that it's distributed and decentralized. And regulation, however, has played a more impactful role here in 2021, and we expect that to happen furthermore in the coming years. Adrian, what challenges may also arise furthering on Vandana's point around regulation, as again the idea of tokenization comes more into startups as we see them develop?
When I speak about tokenization, one of the major and very important concern is the security of funds actually involved in the project in one way or the other. And if we look at the media, it's like every week at least a hack over the past few weeks, where a lot of people actually are losing what they put in a project in one way or the other. And many of these problems, they are inside jobs, are not, let's say, flows in the system, so are like premeditated action for these funds to be lost. And the regulation makes the opportunity for less bad players to piggyback on the idea of tokenization, on the idea of decentralization, so to help the market grow. So besides the security, also because the thesis of the decentralization, and this is one thing I'm very passionate about is the transferring from of the power from centralized body to the real people, to the normal people, to the users. This is very, very important for our times and for the future. But of course, somehow these regular people, they need to be more protected and to be educated, of course, and to have the possibility to choose the best ways, knowing both the rewards and the risk. And it's a marketing and education thing, actually.
Yeah, it's a very good point. We also saw today as a headline that FTX would be acquiring LedgerX, which helps further the exchange, but also many exchanges we're starting to see enter into this space as well. So very excited to see kind of how this starts to unravel in the coming months as more companies do look at tokenization. And there's also a very added level of complexity around tokenomics and structures. Again, we've got regulation in a good way and also a structured way that's incoming. But when we look towards the end of the year, Vandana, what's your prediction around tokenization? And is this something that you think we'll see more or less of as we come to close here on today's discussion?
Definitely, so like I said in my previous talks as well, anything new, we need to be proactive, and when we are pushed as humans to use it, then of course we get the hands-on with it. I mean, there are lots of benefits of token over equity. For instance, for an investment that earns consistent returns, it is important to have a diversified portfolio. And with cryptocurrency as an alternative investment for diversification, your portfolio would not be highly vulnerable in times of financial crisis. And a cryptocurrency is a digital currency, and it's not really issued by the government, central banks or other financial institutions. And crypto units are safeguarded by cryptography and cannot be easily fighted, or nor can they spend more than once. And encryption algorithms allow for secure payments online, which are tokens or ledger entries. And many cryptocurrencies are decentralized networks based on blockchain technology, which is a distributed ledger spread over a wide network of computers. Now, blockchain technology has attracted the attention of big names like Google, Microsoft, Apple, and key finance institutes like JP Morgan, MasterCard. Considering that blockchain is the backbone of cryptocurrency, it would be worthwhile investment as some other early stage options like venture capital. Now, this year especially, there were a lot of investments that happen in this space. Both these markets have extreme volatility in the past year. While crypto has proven that it can incredibly be volatile, the stock market has experienced its fair share of turbulence as well. And last year, the S&P 500 lost more than 1/3 of its value during early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, to see which one is better, I think investors need to compare the risk and reward. The advantage of investing in cryptocurrency over stocks is there is greater potential for reward. And Ethereum, for example, has seen its price increase over the past year, and that's despite the major downturn it faced around May. So, we have to make sure that we have high tolerance for risk, before we even consider investing in cryptocurrency. And if we do choose it needs to have a smart balance and a solid portfolio. So I think, this year we have definitely seen a lot of cryptocurrency and blockchain investments that are happening. I even posted a news today, which I saw. One of the Indian actors is, beginning to have his own token in the NFT space. So it's quite amazing to see people are becoming more progressive. And I think the education needs to be imparted in the right manner. Like the other day, I was discussing with Sunny that, I have not stepped into it because of those password things and the other things that are complications, which I feel could be a problem. And then when she explained me, I understood, oh, it's not that difficult after all.
That's a very good point. And where can everyone find you online to continue the conversation if they're looking to connect further?
Yeah, I could be reached on LinkedIn or my website, www.convanto.com. And
Wonderful,
once
thank you.
again, thank you for having me here.
Thank you as well, Vandana. Adrian, closing thought on the question today is, will we see more tokenized fundraisers maybe on the NFT side? So leveraging non-fungible tokens as a way to not only tokenize the company, but also to do a means of fundraise as we come into the end of the year. And then where can everyone find you?
I see these areas growing like crazy. We are just at the beginning. And both the paradigm of investing and the paradigm of building certain businesses will be very different than even what we can perceive right now. Of course, and I say this time and time again, you need to educate yourself. And one of the great resources is VCTV, where you can see a lot of people sharing knowledge based on their experience, so they are not speaking from the books. And education is the key to go ahead and to protect yourself, of course, from what I mentioned earlier, of course, shady practices and things like that. I see this growing like crazy, so I advise everybody to at least look at it, to put the finger on it, to taste it, not to stay away, because you will be left behind sooner or later. I can be found on LinkedIn. I answer to all messages, just that not all the time immediately. It was before the show, I saw a terrible joke. It was a meme saying that, and I said it's very terrible.
Well, let's not tell it if it's terrible. So
no, it's terrible meaning like, because this is the last day of the summer, so tomorrow we'll start autumn. So the joke said there are 4 seasons right now: quarantine, summer, quarantine, summer, quarantine, which is a stupidity, of course. Hopefully everything will open up. We'll all have a great autumn. We'll see each other a lot to share amazing ideas, and of course to see each other in the real world. So this was the real closing thought.
There we go. I love it. Adrian, Vandana, thank you very much for your thoughts and insights around the tokenization of startups and for startups as well. To our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, make sure you click like, share, and subscribe on today's episode to tune into more VCTV every day, all day, each week. As we bring investors together from around the world to share their thoughts and insights on different technologies, industries, and regions around the world. Big thank you to the Token team, to Hasmik and Maria for making today's episode possible. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. Please do reach out to myself, Vandana, to Adrian as well. We'd love to hear from you if you're building anything in these or other areas as well. But do add context, where you heard us, where you met us, and what you would like to continue the conversation about. With that, we'll be back here tomorrow with more VCTV. Everyone have an absolutely wonderful day. And to Adrian's point, an amazing autumn. Take care, everybody.